Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video. And we got a really sad video today. The end of an era is upon us. We got less than a month to go for a great Beatles thing that has been out there for many years for us to go enjoy. And unfortunately, it's coming to an end. All right, before we get started with that, though, I do want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel, and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. But let's get on and find out what this is all about. So yeah, I got word about a month ago. I've known about this for a while, and I'm sure you all have too. But I just kind of want to get a video out there and talk about this, especially I think we're just less than a month away to go. And, you know, if you got a chance to get there and go experience this in this last month here, I'm hoping at least one person will see this and get to go see this again before you can't see it anymore. But I guess the Mirage Las Vegas is being sold to the Hard Rock of Las Vegas there, and they're shutting down a pretty beloved Beatles institution. There we go, not an institute. But yeah, we're losing Cirque du Soleil love, and I'm a little upset at that. I was really hoping, I knew it was approaching the 20th anniversary here in a couple of years. I was really hoping to get myself in a little better shape so I could fly a little easier, stuff like that, and you know, get myself out to Vegas again and go see it again. Luckily, I have got to see it once before. I've shared that story before. It's an amazing ticket. If anybody knows the layout of the theater there, sees those seats, it was a section 106, row C, seat number 1, and wow, what an amazing experience. It was March 9th of 2009, right before the stereo remasters came out. This is part of what really kicked me into my Beatles fandom again, was getting to go see this, and then the stereo remasters that came out on September 9th of 2009. Really just solidified my true love for the Beatles. I've always loved the Beatles, but this just really put me into this Beatle Dustino level era of it. And I'm really kind of sad about this because, like I said, I was really hoping to get to go see it again. I had such a great experience the one time I did go see it. I got to go with a good buddy of mine, and we both just loved it. We had no clue what we were getting into. Back in 2009, ticket buying wasn't quite like it is today, where you pretty much know which seat you're going to and everything. I think you could have, if I would have went through the right site, I guess I would have got that. But at the time, it was Vegas.com was a big thing. The whole what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas ad campaign, that was all through Vegas.com. So, I mean, that was just pounded into anybody's head that's going to Vegas. You got to go to Vegas.com and, you know, book my hotel, book my show tickets, book my flight, you know, all that. And that's kind of what we did with this. I think we got everything else kind of on our own, but with the tickets, I was just kind of like, well, I know I keep hearing about go to Vegas.com and you can get some good tickets. And I purchased the tickets for this through there. We were wanting to, you know, get to go see a show of some sort, and him and I both agreed on this. We went with 2 other friends. They didn't want to go see anything, believe it or not. I think they did go do something while we were at this, but I don't think it was anywhere near the level of, you know, Vegas show like him and I got to go do. And yeah, we almost missed getting our tickets too, because you had to be at the box office by a certain time to pick them up. And we really didn't know what seats we got. We just knew we selected the best possible seats, you know, in the best section. It kind of showed you, like, there were like 3 rings of levels of where you could sit, and we picked, you know, the top tier seats, not knowing we were going to get this good of seats. And I know we showed up and we're, you know, being showed down to our seats, and wow, okay, this is cool. And this particular row, there are 2 rows in front of it, yes, those are actually worse seats than these are. These, your rate, I was head level my head was just above the stage. So like literally like the stage was off my shoulder here. I could, reach out and touch the stage there, the little walkway that came out. And it was like literally just like my shoulder was level with the stage basically. So we had this cool kind of view over the whole thing. And it's kind of a theater in the round, so it's really cool where you get to sit. So that was one thing I always was hoping too. I wanted to go see it from another angle, knowing how that theater was set up, kind of, in that kind of that lower row, lower level there, but just from another section of the theater to kind of get a different view of it. And I'm really kicking myself now because I did go to Vegas again a few years after this, and I said to myself, I'm going to go see another Cirque show because this was so cool. And I was like, I really should go see Love again. I think that would be so much fun. And I chose to go see Ka. I don't know if you know about that one. I'd heard so much hype on it, and I'm like, yeah, let's go give another Cirque show a try. Instead of every time I go there, I'm going to go see Beatles Love, even though I absolutely love the Beatles. But yeah, I was hoping to go to Vegas again and go see this again. And let me tell you, Las Vegas, you lost a customer, because I wanted to get back to Vegas again, and my primary reason for getting back there was to see this. And I'm not coming now. I got no reason to go back to Vegas now. Absolutely none. I really am upset about that, because I did want to go explore some other things too, but none of the other things got enough draw to me to go as this did. So, and I'm really kind of kicking myself because I financially and stuff right now, I'm not in a space good enough to just go out and fly out there and go see the show one last time. So I'm really kind of upset. But yeah, let's get into this here. Basically, Cirque du Soleil Love kind of was a love child of George Harrison's, believe it or not. He met the main CEO guy of Cirque du Soleil, I believe, at an F1 race in Montreal. They hit it off. He discussed with him that, yeah, this would be cool to do a Beatles project based on this. And that's kind of where it started back in 2000. Of course, George passed away in 2001. So they carried on with his wishes, though. And, they worked with Paul and Ringo and Yoko and Olivia Harrison and Donnie Harrison all worked together to kind of bring something together. And then, of course, George Martin and Giles Martin both worked together to bring the soundtrack to life. And what an amazing soundtrack. So the show originally started on June 30th, 2006. And it's going to be ending on, of all days, July 7th of 2024, which would be Ringo's birthday. And I just recently, before I filmed this, I kept saying to myself, they're planning to have Ringo there. If it's on his birthday, they're planning to have Ringo there. And sure enough, I just recently saw a post on, I believe it was the Cirque du Soleil, I think it was the Cirque du Soleil Love Instagram or Facebook or somewhere that did confirm Ringo is going to be at that last show. So if the tickets aren't sold out now at this point, if you want to go enjoy this show with Ringo, that last show on July 7th is going to be the one to go see and celebrate Ringo's birthday with him there too. So that's pretty cool. But of course, George and Giles got together to create this just absolutely brilliant soundtrack for this show. That was, of course, where I first got introduced to it. The album originally came out on November 20th of 2006, so just a little bit after the show started. This is what I purchased first, this CD here. And there are two kind of versions you can get of the CD. There's this one and then kind of a deluxe version. Kind of show you there. Yeah, I'll show you under the tray there. Why not? That's what I usually do. But yeah, I've had this since it first came out. I kind of ignored this deluxe version, but you can get this as an option. But recently I decided to get it, and just to have it. But it's in a kind of a double digipack here. And what it really is just the CD. Nice little slip case there. And we'll open this up and fold it out. So you still got the CD, the booklet, all that there. But you flip this over and you got a DVD with like high-res audio, surround sound, all that. So you do got kind of a different experience if you do got those setups for the surround sound and everything. And I've heard this is a little bit of a different mix. I think this might run a little bit longer by a few seconds or a minute or so. So there's a little difference in it there. Decided to get that too, just to kind of have the collection there. Of course, I've also collected up some kind of promo stuff of it. They did have this promo CD that came out, and there's the cover of that. And I love how they kind of just did variations on that cover, kind of that yellow, orange, and such. And they kind of changed that up with these promo ones. And then the disc there, just kind of the silver, but then with the red there with the guys. I'll show you once again the track list that you get on that promo one there. And I had to get this just recently. I've known about it for a while. I love the color combination on this too. I think that's so cool. But this is the Beatles Love Interview CD, another promo one that they had out at the time. It's got a lot of little interview clips with George Martin, Giles Martin, Ringo. I don't know if anybody else is really in there. Just kind of, let's see. No, it does say Paul McCartney's on there too. Yeah, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Sir George Martin, and Giles Martin. Recorded in October of 2006. And show you below the tray here. But once again, they kind of did that blue on the logo there instead of the red. So that's pretty cool. And yet, kind of another option you do with the album too. They did, of course, release an LP of it. And here that is. I was so excited to get this. I kind of haven't been collecting the Beatles LP stuff until recently. I've always been a very loyal CD collector, but never really paid much attention to the LP stuff until recently. And I did find this at Barnes & Noble locally here and picked it up. Very excited to get it. It's got this beautiful book in it. I can't even really call this a booklet. This is a book. I mean, it's just page after page. Great photos and everything. Yeah, some photos from the show and everything. And I'll just kind of page through quick. I might be skipping a page or two here. I'm not much of a show the booklet guy. And I don't know if I'm even holding this right where you can see it great. But yeah, just a really nice book to kind of page through as you're listening to it. Nothing too fancy with the inner sleeves. They are poly-lined, but just a plain white inner sleeve. And we got disc 1 side A there, and there's side B, and then disc 2 side C and side D. So yeah, there's kind of an option you get there. But yeah, it's just such a great soundtrack, and you know, it is such a Beatles thing to get to go do this. But yeah, you don't get to really see the Beatles performance, Cirque du Soleil performers performing and kind of to this music, but it's this cool remix. And I love seeing a lot lately, a lot of the Beatles vinyl prompts for 2024 had something about a compilation album in it, I want to say, and a lot of people really put Love as one of their favorite kind of Beatles compilations in that, and I was really excited to see that, how much love there is for Love. And this remix, because a lot of people do get, it seems like I hear a lot of negative towards it too. But the fact that the vinyl community, the Beatles fans in the vinyl community do really appreciate this, because I've always appreciated it since it first came out. And it's just kind of cool how they mash up other Beatles songs with other Beatles songs, and, you know, listening to it. And every time, I swear, I've listened to this album probably hundreds of times. And every time I listen to it, I always hear something new in each song there. I'll find a new little snippet or something that I never caught before. And that's just so much fun. I've always really loved the remix on this and really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm really sad I can't go hear it again in that theater, with that amazing theater. You had speakers in the back of the headrest of your seat, so you had perfect sound no matter where you sat. And I know there were speakers around the theater too, but it was just, oh, the sound there was just so amazing. Kind of another thing you can do too, kind of celebrate it on physical media form. There is this All Together Now documentary that came out and on DVD here. And this came out on October 20th of 2008. This was released. It's kind of a making of documentary. You do get to see some scenes from the show, but not a lot. It's not like, you know, a whole film of the show. It's just, you know, kind of the behind the scenes and the making of. You'll see Paul and Ringo and Yoko and Olivia and Donnie, George and Giles, George Martin and Giles. And, you know, you got this nice little booklet with it. And it's really a great little documentary to watch. I'm probably going to sit and cry watching it now if I watch it again. You because, you know, it really is a love letter to the show. That's where I keep my ticket tucked to, is right in there with that. So I always know where my ticket's at. And so that's kind of another option you have there. And believe it or not, there is yet another option to see some scenes from Love. So at least there is a few places documented on physical media where you can see this, even though the show is going away. But this is Cirque du Soleil Worlds Away, and this came out in theaters, at least, on October 20th of 2012. And then in the U.S., it was December 20th, I believe I got there, 2012, yeah. And you do get in here, and I'm going to pull it out of the slip sleeve because it's got all those hype stickers and Walmart stickers and whatnot on there. See the cover just a little better. And kind of show you the back here. So here's the inside. And yeah, you got the Blu-ray there. There we go. Oh, this is the 3D Blu-ray, I'm sorry. Then there's the Blu-ray and the DVD. So quite a package here. Plus it had the digital download too. So pretty cool there. But sounds like you do got scenes included with this. You got Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Blackbird, Octopus's Garden, Be In for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and Get Back in Glass Onion. You all got included in this. So pretty cool there. I don't know if a lot of people realize that that's out there as kind of a love option on media there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go through that. It's pretty cool when this started out. They had some preview shows, so cool now knowing Ringo's going to kind of see it to the end there. But they were there from the beginning. There were some preview shows that started originally in 2006, going June 2nd to June 29th, and the June 16th to 17th showings. Paul, Ringo, Yoko, Cynthia, Julian, Olivia, Donnie, George Martin, and I believe Giles Martin was there too. All got to attend. And, you know, it was so cool getting to go to the Mirage and see that. And if you haven't been there yet, I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. But you walk in and there's, you know, a big Union Jack thing on the ceiling, all lit up. The walkway that you walk into is really cool, all kinds of different colors. You got the Beatles store kind of off to the right as you're walking into the theater. And that is sadly going to close down too, and it was the only physical Beatles store in the world. So officially licensed Beatles store. So that's kind of sad that we're losing that too. That was really cool to go check out and look at. You know, wow, for a Beatles fan to walk into and see all that. Most of it I already had, so it was like, you know, but it was still fun, you know, knowing that I could go in any Beatles thing I wanted. It was there. And at least I had what I wanted of what was in there. And my shot glass, I forgot to bring that out there. You can see it in the background there of all my videos, but because my first video was talking about that, me going to the show too. And yeah, I got the shot glass there. That was my big thing I bought there. And yeah, and just walking in, you had the big, the logo like this. They had a big thing of it where you go kind of pose by that. The cups, I know, were, you know, themed to it. I wish I would have got one of them. I really wanted a bottle of water because I was so thirsty. We were out at the Hoover Dam before we went to the show, and I think I got a little dehydrated, so having a drink probably wasn't the best choice for me at that time. My buddy, he had a drink, though. I wonder if he still got his cup. I got to ask him if he's got it, because I know that would have been love-themed. But, yeah, he, I know he had taken some other medications before he had his drink there, and I think he was a little dehydrated on top of that, and he got tripping a little there. I don't know if you've ever seen my first video I ever did talk about the ticket there and going to the show. But yeah, he had a really good time at the show when we were there, especially the part where Octopus's Garden kicked in and they put that thing over your head, and we were right down. We were one of the first to get that over our head. And they did show that scene in here, so I knew about it because I had seen this before I went to the show. So I knew that was coming. He didn't, and he was like, dude, the Dayquil's turning on me, man. Because, of course, Knocked Up was out around that time, too, and that was a pretty popular movie. And the whole, oh, the shrooms are turning on me, man, going to the Cirque du Soleil show. So we had a great time at it, though, and I really was hoping to get to go see it again. Now I'm so kind of disappointed and sad that it's shutting down, and I'm not going to get that opportunity again. But like I said, I just kind of hope that, people will see this and do know that it is shutting down and go hopefully get that last opportunity to go see it. And especially if you're going to that last show on July 7th, getting to share the audience there with Ringo Starr himself. I mean, that is so cool. I wish I had the money and the time to go do it, because I'd be there in a heartbeat. I think that would be so much fun to get to go see. I'm pretty disappointed in this. And my biggest disappointment is the fact that, the Mirage is closing down and it's being taken over by the Hard Rock. And wouldn't it make sense? I mean, what's more rock and roll than the Beatles? Wouldn't it make sense? You already got an established rock and roll show that you'd want to kind of keep that there. But I know Hard Rock is under a different company than the Mirage is. I believe Mirage is under the MGM Grand thing, and Cirque du Soleil has got the contract with MGM Grand, because all the MGM Grand properties pretty much got a Cirque du Soleil show. Hard Rock is not under MGM Grand as far as I know, so I guess there is that whole thing there. But you'd think they'd figure out something to work around that when you got such a cool show already established there, and a rock and roll themed show going into a rock and roll themed hotel casino. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, but I guess whatever. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed about it. And yeah, I really wish I could get to go there again. And I know my videos usually aren't big downers, and I do want to celebrate what love was. And that's why I wanted to show all this physical media, that we still got ways to kind of enjoy it yet. Because this is a fantastic remix of their music, a fantastic soundtrack album, fantastic remix album, whichever way you want to look at it, it's fantastic. George and Giles did a wonderful job on it, and it's something I've enjoyed since the first time I listened to it, and I didn't even know what I was getting into. I remember I went into Best Buy one day, didn't even know it was out. I just always would go in, find new movies or whatever. Once a week I'd pretty much be in Best Buy, and just look and see if there was anything new from Hendrix or the Beatles or whoever I was collecting, or any just good deals on some CDs or whatever. And I remember seeing this on the shelf, and I thought, oh, cool, the Beatles got a new thing out, and I bought it. And I remember as soon as I got out to my car, I opened it up, popped it in the CD player, was driving down the street listening to it as I was pulling away from Best Buy, and going, whoa, this is quite different. This is different. This isn't the Beatles I was expecting, because I really didn't know anything about it up until that point. I wasn't big into internet and stuff like that, going on the internet like that, and catching that news like that. So, like I am now, as I'm part of the news that's out there, I guess part of the media out there delivering the news and whatnot. Yeah, I wasn't as into that back then, but like I said, if I saw it on the shelf, I'd pick it up, and there it was. And yeah, I really was just taken in with it immediately, thinking, oh, this is cool. This is something different. This is cool. And then I get realizing, oh, cool, there's a Cirque du Soleil show in Las Vegas I could go see that's based on this. That's even cooler. And, then getting this documentary a couple years later, and getting to enjoy it, and then going and seeing it about a year after this came out, and getting to actually go see it. And wow, I'm very happy I did get to go see it. I'm really kicking myself I didn't go see it the second time I was in Vegas. And I'm really kicking myself again that I don't got myself set up that I could just go there last minute to go see it. But yeah, I really hope you can get an opportunity to go see it before it shuts down. It's a fantastic show. It really is. The visuals of it, the sound of it, everything, the theater, just experiencing the theater itself is quite a thing. I am kind of a theater geek though, so I guess that, really kind of did it for me on that with the sound engineering of that. I did sound engineering in high school for the theater. And, just the thought of what went into that and the production of that and all that, I'd love to be back there on the mixer, bringing the sound up for it and everything on that. To me, I just kind of geek out thinking about that. I'm really kind of upset about it. And like I said, I don't really get too negative Nelly on this channel, but this I'm going to be a little sad about, and really kind of sad at Hard Rock's decision to shut it down, or at least not work out with MGM Grand to keep the show going, or MGM Grand not, wanting to move it to somewhere else. I suppose the theater itself is quite a complicated theater, and I think it was set up that way before that, because it was the Siegfried and Roy Theater before it became the Love Theater, and I think that's how they had their show set up. So they already kind of had a canvas to work with, and they just put in the special seats and the special sound and that, and whatever else they needed to kind of add on to what was already there. So that kind of unique theater was already set up. So at least they didn't have that expense to go through building a whole new theater. They just had to put in the kind of the equipment to make that unique theater work for their show. And yeah, it was a very cool show. It's a really sad moment. I think the other thing that's really got me upset is just how many people are losing their jobs on this. I mean, 400 some performers and backstage workers and whatnot that are all losing their jobs, and really they got no notice on that too. So that's really sad too, just knowing that. Trying to keep it on a positive here, but yeah, like I said, you got this wonderful media you can fall back to and enjoy. And do check out this, if you haven't checked out this documentary, do check it out again, because just to honor those performers and that. I'm sure a lot of these guys aren't the same guys from when this was out in 2006 when it originally came out, but over the years, think about everybody that's put into making that show happen and whatnot. And yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty awesome. But I am going to get signing out and wrapping up here. Before I do, though, once again, I want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Not that, that's the thumbs up, that's next. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel. And like I always say, if you've stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Let me know your thoughts on this. Please let me know if you've seen it, and how many times you've seen it too, because I know a lot of people would go see it multiple times. This Beatles fan here is really kicking himself. He's been to Vegas twice and only seen it once. So yeah, I'm a little gutted on it. Even more as I'm talking about it, I'm getting that much more gutted. But let me know your thoughts. Are you upset about it too? Were you hoping to get to go see it again? Let me know if you got tickets to go to that final show and go see it with Ringo in tow there. I mean, that's so cool. Get to celebrate his birthday and sadly kind of celebrate the last performance of this great show. And God, I'm just jealous knowing that they get to hear it in that amazing sound again, in that amazing theater. But yeah. All right. Before I get rambling too much here, I am going to get signing out. I am Beatle Dustino, signing out.